warrior. It has taken me a couple of days to just absorb all of the national information that has been happening or hoisted upon us in America. And I know I say this to you frequently. I try not to be too political, but it is time to be a bit more political, if you don't mind. As a warrior, it is my job, as an American, as someone who started an organization to protect children, women, boys and men too, all people, from human rights abuses, sex and labor trafficking. So I am here to talk to you about the border czar. I have held back in the past, sticking to issues, but I have to talk about the border czar. I can barely say it. And you should all say it as well, if you care to. I don't want to tell you what to say. Because Kamala Harris was named the border czar. Not only was she named the border czar, she was named the AI czar as well, artificial intelligence. I don't know if you recall that. Both of these issues directly relate to children. We know, I have been a broken record. I am here to remind you again. I just finished an interview, and it'll be up tomorrow, with Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland on the Texas border, explaining a lot of facts, what's going on, giving me updates of stats and studies, what it looked like a year ago to now. He also works, as we do, partners with Lost Voices of Fentanyl. I am heartbroken every day. The parents posting pictures, forever 16, forever 12. For the mother who just wrote to me about her 11-year-old daughter. Where did all this illicit fentanyl come from? The border czar, indirectly, because we have open borders. If there is one thing, in my career, I've done a lot of things. You may not find them listed under my name online, and I want it that way. Strategy, damage control. I would drive home this case of border czar 24/7. Border czar, who has allowed these open borders that could be fixed. But remember, as a wonderful member of the NYPD pointed out to me one day, and not that long ago, when I said, we have so many potholes my entire life in New York City, I don't understand. I go to other places, other cities, that don't have all these potholes, other towns. And he said, Lynn, if we fix the potholes, people don't make money. And it was like a light bulb. Aha! We have to have chaos and problems for a lot of people to make a lot of money. Why, after all, under our border czar, and I can't blame her completely for this one, but let me remind you that if this administration had been doing their homework, this would have been shut down, and that would be the Southwest Keys program under Health and Human Services, part of our U.S. government, who since 2015 has given this organization, this nonprofit, this place, over $3 billion to take care of migrant children, 29 different facilities in the United States, based out of Austin, Texas, Arizona. And now the Department of Justice is suing them because after 8 years, it came to light that many, many of these children were horribly, severely, and those are the words of the Department of Justice, not my words, severely. Any kind of child abuse is severe in my opinion, but for the DOJ to say severely abused sexually, CSAM, child sexual abuse material, forced into these photos, into this horror where people can make money off of their images, videos, upload them to porn sites, inappropriate relationships, constant groping and probing. And this went on. Again, it started in 2015. Where's the oversight? Can you imagine what we could do with that? Over $3 billion? Who even knows? Because, that's the figure we're given. As I always tell you, numbers are always higher, whether it's missing kids, monies. But I want our border czar, That should be the main issue, because the open borders, no matter how you look at this, nothing was done. One trip during an administration to this invasion to an area that I am told was completely cleaned up for her arrival is not good enough. Women and girls routinely raped, exploited, trafficked into labor as well. Modern day slavery. Where are all my sisters, the feminists? I'm at the tail end of the 70s as a teenager when we had the women's movement. I'm in the middle of New York City. I'm part of all these bipartisan coalitions, but everybody is out for themselves, wants to talk about themselves, and will not collaborate and come together. My goal at the Warriors is always collaboration. It can come from the right, it can come from the left, it can come up, down, I don't care. The bottom line is about helping, about solving. It's not slapping that Band-Aid on, because that's all I'm seeing going on. We at the Warriors, we do so much behind the scenes. It's about getting in there, prevention, intervention, solving. So when I hear our border czar at one point, I'm going to get to the root causes. And then I started hearing all the media talk about root causes, root causes. Well, my hair roots, everybody, are turning gray over all of this, okay? That's my root cause, my hair. I am sick and tired of this. Where are all the women? I even posted an article today. I focus on America, our own backyard. But I posted an article about Afghanistan, because that has always bothered me so much, that my first, when that pullout happened, that horrible, horrible pulling out of Afghanistan, thousands running, I don't even have to relate it to you. I'll put a link to that to remind you, but I think you all know what I'm talking about, were calls from mothers hiding their girls, take our girls, how can we get our girls out, burning books, burning art, covering up, marrying them off to Taliban members so they wouldn't be horribly raped. Women are slaves in Afghanistan. And this article, so go to my Twitter or Facebook. I'll put a link in the body of this video as well. Read this article. They have no rights. Animals are treated better. Why aren't the feminists here talking about this? Why isn't our border czar talking about this? The border. I'm throwing a lot at you, but there's a lot of issues. I don't want to say angry, because my anger actually empowers me to think of new things, to how to solve things, how to get people involved. Is we have to, going into this election cycle, very precious. What do we have? A little bit over 100 days. We must talk about the border czar. Facts. I don't want to hear about her laugh. I don't want to hear about I don't know, this thing I keep seeing on everybody's sites, the same things and fumbles she did, and policy. Border. Every law enforcement tells me the same story. It could have been solved. Numbers were way down in 2020. We have another 9/11. It's funny because I used to have the attitude of, I don't want to scare people. Human trafficking, sex trafficking, kids, it's too much for people. Let's go easy. I have to scare you now because you're not listening, a lot of you. This is make or break it time. You see that I have a flag behind me. I proudly have a flag behind me. I have always had a flag in my home. I'm a proud American. I grew up saluting the flag every morning in my classroom. And to see flags burned yesterday, where I go frequently to DC, and I come off the train and I walk out of Union Station, and there is the dome of the U.S. Capitol. No matter how you feel about the government, when you come out of that station and see that down the road, you get a certain feeling. And to see what I saw was so disturbing and allowed when I heard border czar at the same time approximately talking about democracy. When I heard a speech at 8 o'clock last night here in New York, yeah, a lot of you may have heard that, the former occupant of the White House. I say former because, former to me. And talking about saving democracy. I'm a 63-year-old American woman. We have to come together, whether we do it in a little small in our homes, with our neighbor, with our friends. This is make or break it time. And that I have to hear democracy when women and girls, the horrors they're enduring on these open borders, the horrors they're enduring in these sanctuary cities, of which one I live in, New York City, of reports outside of these family hotels, the women getting into cars, lining the streets, and having sex in the cars 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Tremendous domestic violence going on in these hotels. You're not hearing about it in the media. I've got my sources. Well vetted, trusted. I've seen women crying in the streets, bringing these people here, the abuse, and then abusing the American people. I am so scared for our youth and our young people. It is up to us to keep them on track. Do not, let me finish up because I could go on and on for hours and remind everybody, we must be scared, but we must fight, fight, fight with truth and facts and stay in our lane and not get ruffled. Don't get sidetracked. I want to talk policy, border czar, women and girls empowerment, family structure, family empowerment. People I know, 1 in 4 New York children go to bed hungry. I think the stat's the same for around America. Young people we hear can't buy homes. It's up to us. So even though media and online, and we know there's censorship, let's admit it, everybody. I don't go near these subjects too much, but I feel I have to do my duty as a warrior. Erasing border czar, erasing AI czar. That one never got too far. But artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence facing our children, it's already here. Most frightening thing. Every tech expert I know, again, bipartisan, tells me behind the scenes, this is the most frightening thing, Lynn, coming down the pike. Can all of this be controlled? Sure it could, in one way or another. But they're allowing it. Allowing it. Border czar Kamala Harris. And that women, I'm sorry, I will never tell somebody how to vote, but I have to tell you my feelings right now. That women would stand behind this woman when she's allowing women and girls on the border to be raped, allowing this crime against women and girls, our American women and girls in this country, allowing all of this criminality and standing there about democracy and women and girls applauding her. And I understand. I was here in New York in 1984 for Geraldine Ferrara 40 years ago, when everybody said, finally, a woman, and frankly, lots of countries have women in power. We just really haven't gotten there yet. And I am shocked and ashamed that this is the woman that has been chosen to lead the way, and that other women, and I know it's tough because people vote party lines, right? I know it's tough. It's about policy. It's about the work they've done. It's about the good of our people, about everything. And why are they standing with her? Because I'm hearing she's a woman. She's a woman. She's a woman of color. I deal with a lot of women of color on a daily basis. They want nothing to do with Kamala Harris. So even though it's whitewashed on media, when you look up border czar, they're getting rid of all that. They don't want you to see that. They don't want to remind anybody of that. That is our point to push on border czar. Policy, open borders, girls and women being raped. And let me leave you. Our children, our young people are absorbing all of this chaos, are watching all of this chaos play out in real time. Watching the adults in the room making fun of this one, that one. And that goes for both sides. Wake up and be a warrior. Vote common sense. Vote for the protection of children, families. But hashtag border czar, and keep reminding people of what's gone on, because as my husband taught me years ago, Americans have the attention span of a gnat, and we have to keep reminding you about important issues. Our hashtag is Community Creates Change. Indeed. Please follow us. Thank you for all of you warriors out there that have supported us, who have donated, who have volunteered, who contact me. I want everybody to understand in 2024, it's a different country. We got to roll with the punches, but we got to do it the right way. Think about everything. Please send me your comments, questions. You can always write to me, lynn@lynswarriors.org. Go to our website. It's all in the body of this video. Just at your own, when you have a couple of minutes, read about things. If you do one thing, go to the Twitter, Facebook. It's all Lynn's Warriors. I made it so easy for everybody. I wanted everybody to come along with me if they choose and do what they can in their own family and community to make it better. That's basically the goal of the Warriors. Just retweet, share your platforms for good. But remember, our children need us, our grandchildren need us, because they're witnessing something I and you have never seen before. Keep that in mind. And you may not think they're paying attention, or you may be burdened and not have the time to spend with them. I am telling you, a little goes a long way. Ask them how they're feeling. What do they think about this situation? But I will be damned. Oh, this is a family show. I should say darn, but to watch American flags being burned or memorials, statues being defaced, and having a border czar who wants to defund law enforcement. Remember, community creates change. Think about all of this and go out and be a warrior.